don't tell him I told you guys, I'll start charging for those consultations. Channel, me, myself, and medicine. I'm back again 3 weeks in a row. So if you're new here, welcome, join the family, and if you came back again, thank you. And guys, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and leave a comment down below. This video we're going to be talking about 5 things I wish I knew before I got into medical school. Oh well, when you apply, most of us, we don't really do thorough research about the medical school. We just want to apply and we just want to see ourselves getting accepted into that medical school of choice. And we have no idea of what is really happening behind the scene. So behind the scenes, not the scene, behind the scenes. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 things that I myself wish I knew before I actually got into medical school. The first thing that I wish I knew before I got into medical school was that my social life as well as my family life will actually suffer. In medical school, what you do, you study. All you do is study. You study during the day, you study during the night, you study in between breaks. Like, you really don't have time to be fooling around and doing things. Ne? And the moment when you get a free time to go to an outing, there is always that thing at the back of your mind telling you that, girl, you're wasting time. You must be studying, and when you're out here grabbing food and doing whatever. So there's always that thing at the back of your mind telling you that you must study. Whenever you go, maybe you go out, even if, guys, I'm telling you, even if you're going out to just buy grocery so that you can find something to eat, there is always that thing at the back of your mind saying, girl, like, really, you're going to buy grocery, you're wasting time. So that is one thing that I wish I knew. And also that my family life will suffer. You know, now we are at home, it's kwara. So the last I'm expected is at least to spend like some time with my family, catching up, watching soapies. But unfortunately that doesn't happen. You know, I'm always in my room trying to catch up on some lessons. The second thing that I wish I knew is how people will actually perceive me. You know, when someone asks you, what are you doing, and you start saying, or you say, I'm doing medicine, they start to see you differently. And people tend to have a different or an imaginary picture of a medical student or of a doctor, how a doctor should wear, how a doctor should conduct themselves. Obviously, as a doctor or as a medical student, you have to wear presentable whenever you go see your patient. You can't go see your patient wearing a bikini and all of that. So there is a certain dress code that you must wear as you go to work, just like in any other degree or in any other profession, okay? But you guys must know that medical students and doctors, they're still human. They still go out, they still go to the beach, and they still wear bikinis for them to be able to swim. They still take pictures, and they still have a social life separate from a professional life. So that it's another thing that I wish I knew, that I'm going to be actually treated differently from the rest of the other students. Third thing I wish I knew before I got into medical school, it's honestly the workload. Guys, when I was doing my undergrad, the workload was a lot, but like they were dividing the workload. Okay, like in your test 1, you will be writing about this only. So in medicine, it's like you study, they're telling you about the diseases, they're telling you about the the diagnosis, they're talking about the presentations and the treatment. Treatment is mostly pharmacology. The diagnosis, like the test that you must actually conduct and all of that. And let's say you study about 20 to 25 or more diseases. And in your first test, you must actually know about all the things, not forgetting the embryology, the histology as well. Like, oh my god, like guys, the workload, it's a lot. You have to know the embryology, you have to know the histology, you have to know the anatomy. Okay, but okay, we are fortunate that the anatomy part, it is separated from the clinical part. But the clinical part on its own, it's a lot. Internal medicine, there is peds, there is pathology. Like guys, the workload is just a lot. Sometimes you just go to a test without even finishing studying some of the slides because you feel like, oh wow, like this is a lot, you know. So that is one thing I wish I knew, like the workload is a lot. And if you're out there and you want to study medicine, just know that the workload is going to be a lot, so be prepared. The fourth thing that I wish I knew was, when you study medicine, you actually don't feel like a doctor. I know a lot of people will be calling you doctor, doctor this, future doctor, like guys, you really don't feel like a doctor. You just feel like a normal person doing medicine, studying. You just feel like a normal student studying. You don't really feel like a doctor. So that is one thing that I also wish I knew, because like before I did medicine, I thought, okay, once I get into medicine, like I'll feel like, okay, fine, I'm going to be a future doctor. But that is not the case. You will just feel like a normal student, guys. And sometimes even when people start calling you doctor when you're still a student, you become annoyed in a way, but not really annoyed. It's nice. But yeah, so the fifth thing, which is supposed to be the last but which is not, it's, I wish I knew I would get consultations from my family, consultations from my friends. That is one thing I wish I knew. You know, whenever my dad feels dizzy, don't tell him I told you, guys. Whenever my dad feels dizzy, he comes into my room and he starts saying, come and take me my blood pressure, come and check my sugar levels. What is the cause of this dizziness? And like, you're expected to answer that and be like, so what should I do to not feel dizzy anymore? Like, guys, if the blood pressure is high, what must I do? And which is the basic things that you must know, Hori. What must the patient do when their blood pressure is high, or when their blood pressure is too low? Even though hypertension, it is less common, but you really have to know. So that is one thing I actually wish I knew, that I will get consultations from my family and from my friends. And I'm telling you guys, I'll start charging for those consultations. Yes. We are at the end of our video, guys. So those are some of the things that I wish I knew personally before I got into medical school. There are obviously a lot of things that you must actually know before you get into medical school. So if you're a student out there, a high school student wanting to do medicine, do your research properly. And if you want to branch into medicine from another degree as well, do your research properly, because you don't want to regret the decision that you're about to take. So thank you again, guys, for watching, and don't forget to like, to subscribe, and leave a comment down below. So from me to you.